Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, but I am taking a break from the new War of Three Peaks content to go back into Moria on my Beorning. This is a weekly event I have with my kin on the Legendary server, so I did not want to miss it. It's something I look forward to every week, but that does mean I have to take a break from the new Update 28 content, which is okay with me a little bit. I'm actually going to have a review tomorrow of Update 28 War of the Three Peaks, so that one's going to be different, I think, but hopefully people like it. But yeah, we're doing Moria instances on my Beorning. I don't think I specifically mentioned that, and I think we're starting Fil Gashan with the first one. And this one will probably do the challenge mode, so we basically go straight to the last boss. We get the first boss in the middle of that, and then we'll rerun, not really rerun it, but just go back and get whatever people need for quests and kill all the mobs. The fun part is basically the second part to me. I actually don't like the challenge in this one because you actually get through the instance faster, but you don't kill all the orcs. And hello, Camille the Steel Shadow and Nathan Philip Connors. Oh, I don't know if this is loud, but I am chewing a couple of grapes. I was having a snack before the stream and then ultimately had it delayed a couple of minutes, but not too long of a delay, and I didn't actually get to finishing eating these. So I think we are still getting set up. We got into the instance pretty quick. Usually we're delayed with like starting the instance. So I think this time we got the instance booted up, and now we're delayed with a couple people still having to join. Oh yeah, so another thing with this stream that I did not mention is I plan to talk, even though I'm not doing the War of Three Peaks content, I plan to talk a little bit about it, but more specifically kind of thinking about the future into Gundabad and maybe some relations to Moria, because it's something I thought about a little bit in the last stream I did actually with the Legacy of Durn and the Trials of Dwarves. I thought it wasn't the same. It didn't feel exactly the same as Moria and kind of the intro to Moria and the lead up to it, but it felt like there were some similarities, and I really don't know lore-wise what similarities or how they're like different. I assume they're different, but looks like we are getting just about ready. Actually, I could have this whole time been going. I see somebody got their subscriber or town services. I could have been doing that the whole time. And Camille, you said you really love my videos. I am glad you love them. It's always nice to hear that my videos actually people do enjoy them. Oh, I haven't opened the War of Three Peaks Ultimate Band Bundle bonus items on this character. We can do that later. I'll be getting probably a ton of loot in this instance. Oh, and one exciting thing today is I assume we'll run the turtle, or at least I will run the turtle, even if my kin for some weird reason doesn't want to. Usually we do want to. When we do the turtle, I think I'll get enough tokens, bright emblems of Nimrodel to... Ooh, gotta hurry. This guy is distracted by Song of Distraction. We have to run around. So for this instance, for anybody unfamiliar, this is Fil Gashan. Okay, so I have to pull these orcs, but we're trying to do the challenge, so we don't want to kill the sentries. And the sentries they will notice us basically. They're alert mobs. Has that red alert. So we were able to distract him so we didn't have to kill him, so that'll be a little bit of a safer buffer. But basically, we don't want to get the sentry. It's all on accident. There we go. So, I guess also for anybody unfamiliar, I do the kin chat with Discord, but I don't have that playing on the stream, so I'm on like push to talk with them, so sometimes I'll speak to them like right there, and it might just like come super randomly. And some of my skills aren't going off. I didn't really pay attention to why, but what we looted was a Wrap Chief Guard's uniform. And then we basically put that on. It makes us look like an orc to them, except I still look like a bear because I'm special and in bear form, so they'll think I'm an orc anyway. We could find out. So they were talking about the captain's pet that I clicked, maybe some of these mobs. So these mobs, the non-alert ones, unaware ones, they will not notice us. And I think the sentries maybe not even notice us, but if we go around them for too long, they'll eventually realize we're not orcs. But anyway, the uniform we put on just lets us run around all these mobs and not have to like fail a challenge, not have to kill the sentries. But that does mean we avoid all of the mobs, but we'll eventually get them later. So we have the first boss, and then we'll go to the second boss, and then the third boss is the last boss, and then I think we'll run back probably. Wow, they're sitting like perfectly at that table. We're still waiting for the actual boss to trigger, but I think I mentioned I would try talking about Gundabad and maybe some relations to Moria, but for anybody that maybe is not too familiar with my streams, I often do get distracted by the gameplay, so of course anything going on in this stream comes first, and I just like to talk about, kind of have a topic to talk about in my free time during the stream, kind of in the downtime. And this is one of the mobs that, well actually he's deactivated right now, but I think he had the buff where if you hit him he just heals instead. But we don't have to worry about that anymore. And this instance is a 6-man Moria instance, but we are running with 5 people. So could be a little bit of a challenge there, but I don't think with our group that we will have much challenge. Even the captain, who last time we ran with the captain, he usually plays I think a burglar and sometimes a minstrel, but now a captain. He's the lowest level one and only like 58. This instance is technically level 60, but I think it is 56 when you can open it, if I remember correctly. But basically, unlike, I don't even know, unlike usual, but we don't have anybody under leveled too much. Yeah, already getting, not really a full inventory, but getting it filled up. Hello Cam, you said you played back from the beta of Shadows of Ingmar until the end of Siege of Mirkwood in my YouTube videos to have you downloading the game to check it out again, so that's exciting. I think it is. There's a lot that is different since between those eras. There's just a whole bunch of things that have changed. A lot of class changes over time. Even the class I'm playing right now, the Beorning, was not around at the time. Oh, I need to put a new... Oh, we have to, so I was thinking I need to put a new uniform on, but we actually have to kill, I think, this lieutenant, and we'll get a lieutenant's uniform, then we can go through the instance more without getting noticed by the orcs. So I think this one is basically a sentry you have to kill. This isn't one we can avoid for the challenge. But yeah, I hope with all the changes, Kim, that you do enjoy LOTRO coming back. I think it's a fun game now. And still, I actually didn't play it too much in the Shadows of Ingmar to Siege of Mirkwood, ere I started in Siege of Mirkwood. And really got into the game more in Rise of Isengard. Maybe one thing that's a little bit relevant to what I'm doing that has changed is I think the difficulty, especially with some of these early instances, is a lot easier. Okay, so we put on the lieutenant's uniform again. I don't change. I guess I can actually go out of bear form just to show I actually have the uniform on. I think that's actually the first time out of bear form in the stream. Usually I'm in and out of bear form, especially in combat, but I don't remember actually going out of it. Okay, then we go up to the... Keep going up and we'll eventually find the floor. Okay. But yeah, we'll go to basically a boss room and ignore all the orcs we can along the way. Oh, so am I. Oh, did my uniform get taken off? Okay, so we don't have sentry, so we're safe. I wonder if my uniform got taken off somehow. Oh, it was the Captain Herald. Well, now we know at least. So I think the Captain Herald took the aggro, and I guess maybe, yeah, everybody's uniform came off. Maybe everybody that took damage, or at least my uniform came off. So did the Runekeepers, it looks like. I thought I might have done something to mess that up. But Kim, to get back to your message, you said you're excited to try all the changes. You've been playing WoW for 4 to 5 years for the last 2 expansions. That's kind of odd because the last 2 expansions of WoW have been some of my least favorite. Legion I played a little bit more, but what's the latest one? Battle for Azeroth I basically haven't played. I have played that in the pre-patch for Shadowlands. But you said after your guild clears the current raid on the hardest difficulty, there isn't much to do. Yeah, LOTRO I think is definitely a good game for like a side game that you can kind of just go about. I need to put it on. There we go. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so yeah, I got distracted talking in the stream, and that happens sometimes. We go to a boss room. It's on the right. We didn't need to open that door. But yeah, we just go a little bit in so the orcs don't notice us, and then we can go straight to pulling a boss. Thought somebody looked like they were in combat, but we're good. And hello, Diadem. You said you're watching the video while doing Hypebold token quest. Those are a little bit exciting, maybe. Actually, some of the Hypebold quests I didn't dislike too much. They were almost like the new missions, just like simple single or a couple quests you could do in an area. And camp, I actually enjoyed those a little bit. It was a little bit of a grind and kind of repetitive after a while, but oh yeah, this guy reflects after a point. Gotta be careful with the bleeds. I've been using my bleeds just like completely. Okay, it might be, yeah, it's any melee. Wow, I'm going to probably be taking a bit of damage from that. I think the captain is as well. I saw Captain bleed for a minute, but looks like we are good. And then I'll need to aggro the ads and keep the boss and get rid of my stun. Yeah, that warband maneuver just did a ton of damage to me. I'm gonna use a potion. Not doing the best gameplay wise here. I could have been just a little bit more efficient with my cooldowns and heals, but yeah, that warband maneuver used to definitely kill, especially when they do a couple at the same time like that, but I was able to survive. My morale's gotten really high. I guess we have captain buffs. That's probably the big difference. I was wondering what happened, like, since I guess 2 times ago when I played the Beorning. I was like, I have a lot of morale, but I think it's the captain buffs. They give increased morale. Yeah, these lieutenants, if I can actually target them properly, they just have a lot of morale, so sometimes they take a little while to kill. It even feels like they die slower than the boss somehow. And then Cam, you said you only play WoW for mythic raiding. And the last 2 expansions haven't been the best, but the raids are phenomenal. Yeah, that's kind of, for me, at least with WoW, I wasn't too much into raiding. I liked a little bit of raiding. I also didn't really like mythic instances for some reason, like the mythic dungeons, but I like running random heroic dungeons. That is more fun to me. So unfortunately, I think WoW was like going towards content that I personally didn't enjoy as much in the class. And I think we have somebody who might be joining the group, another minstrel maybe. So we'll have like 4 or 5 options for healing. I am tanking. And of course, like, the captain could heal. Do I actually... Okay, I was trying to... I've been super slow on the loot. So, yeah, I think we're going to wait to see if the new minstrel joins. And Nathan, you're building Hype Bold as well right now. Well, I'm surprised. That's just, like, such a random area at level... What level was that at? Like, 85, I think, for East Rohan. But it's, yeah, like, that specific level, it seems kind of odd that two people would be running that right now and rebuilding it. But Kim, you also said your fondest memories of LOTRO was leveling in LOTHLORIAN, the turtle boss in Moria, and the Balrog and Shadows of Ingmar. So this is a level of progression group. I should probably explain that. So we actually went through the Ingmar content level capped at 50, and now we're going through the Moria content level capped at 60. So I think somebody's running back to get the minstrel, and we'll take him here, and we'll just sit here so I can talk to chat and do that without the distraction of the gameplay in a way. But yeah, LOTHLORIAN I think is really fun as well. Fun place to level in and just quest through. And Turtle Boss and Moria, we will probably do that today. I just need to run him one more time to get my level 60 first stage, which I guess I gotta decide. I'll probably get a one-hander. And then the Balrog and Shadows of Ingmar I just mentioned, we went through Ingmar and now we're capped at 60, so we already did like the Balrog and that as far as the raid goes. So the dungeons these days, some of them scale from like whatever level they are to the cap, so some specific instances don't, so they're in the instance panel. There's also epic battles, I don't know if you know of those. A lot of people don't like them, but some people do. But yeah, these are all scaling instances, and I should point out I'm only level 60, so I don't have everything unlocked. There are a lot more instances at higher levels. And then there are quite a few non-scaling instances, and I think most notably Ingmar instances, and then Garth of Garwin, and then the LOTHLORIAN and Moria instances do not scale. And some like random raids at higher levels often won't scale, and I think the Rise of Isengard stuff doesn't scale, but like Mirkwood stuff scales. A lot of the lower level stuff scales, so like Great Barrow, Fornost, Numenos, even Helagrod, that raid scales and is split into 4 wings. Road to Erebor was during Riders of Rohan, but has a few instances that scale from 20 to whatever the cap is. And I think, is everybody here? No. I thought somebody mentioned everybody was here, but... Or mentioned they were all here, but I guess not. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the dungeons. There might be a few instances you see that you probably didn't have, I think, during Shadows of Ingmar. Okay, so I think our old healer switched to DPS, and our new healer, our new minstrel is the new healer. And we go to the... Uh-oh. I wonder if that was me. I always feel like it's me. They hit me, so I actually can't tell, but... Oh, I put my old uniform on, I think. Yeah, I wonder if that's what happened. It might have been what happened. If I put... I thought I put a uniform on, but it's possible I didn't even put one on, but I'm thinking I had the wrong one on. Hello, Don White. You said you're just getting back into LOTRO too. So that's exciting. A couple people getting back into it, and you're trying your hand at the Lore Master. Lore Master is a fun class. For me, when I started LOTRO, actually I didn't like it too much. I thought it was a bit difficult to play. But yeah, at least nowadays I think it's a fun class, and the game in general has become easier, so the Lore Master in a way is also easier, I think, to go through stuff, and actually pretty strong. They have strong AoE damage to go through stuff with. So Kim, you remember when War Speech was added? Yeah, a lot of people If I actually click the minstrel, it is no longer called war speech, even though basically everybody calls it war speech. The technical name for that stance is dissonance now. But yeah, it's kind of sad in a way that it's not like no longer war speech. It basically does the same thing. It's the DPS mode for minstrels, and everybody calls it war speech. But yeah, those are kind of the types of changes a lot of classes have had, or just changes in general to the classes. So this fight is a fairly complex boss fight. So I think the captain's going to be on debuff duties for the archer, and we have to lure the boss into traps. We also have to lure him into traps after he has gotten whatever his fire debuff is. So then we learn to trap and we can hit him. Basically when he's not in the trap, we can't do damage to him. The Master X-Man, you said you went from level 45 to 130 in 5 days on a burglar? That is very fast. Especially if you did that through questing. I know there are other means to levels and other popular forms of XP farming, like work pins, probably being the most popular for higher levels. So Kim, you were asking how much of the game is free to play now? Will you have to pay a sub to log in? You do not have to pay a sub to log in. You can be any level to log in. You aren't limited on levels. You're more limited on what content you have access to. So basically you have up to Lonelands for questing, which is about level 30. That's what it'll get you just through free content. There are also some like instances and different things that will be free. And some of those scale. I think you even have a couple, I think we're ready to go, a couple like skirmishes that you can do that scale to help you level up. But in general, there's like quest packs and expansions that you'd want to buy. And if you do have an expansion, like if you played back in, you still have like Mines of Moria. Okay, I need to drag him back a little bit. I don't actually see a trap. We need the Fangcaster to put a trap so he can actually damage the boss. As you'll see, he's absorbing all the attacks. So yeah, he's going to put a trap here, and I just have to lure the boss into it. And the boss moves super slow, so we just gotta wait for him and hope nobody else goes into the trap. So Master X-Men, you did school and work pins. Yeah, those are good methods for XP, but now we can damage him, and hopefully we can get like all the captain buffs and cooldowns and all that. Help us with the damage and complete this phase basically. Oh, we actually have another trap, but we didn't even need that. So we need to kill the Fire Fist. Oh, and unfortunately we didn't actually want the boss in the trap there, but it's kind of the way he is going. I was trying to quickly drag the Fire Fist back to him, but that didn't quite work out. I think actually the boss might have been open for a little bit of damage. He took some damage. There we go. Trying to get them. They need to be basically in the same area. Gotta kill the Fire Fist at the boss and that'll open him. And then while he's covered in oil, we need to bring him into a trap. But yeah, after he gets hit by the fire at the Fire Fist we need to take him into a trap or deal fire damage to him. But if we take him into a trap, that means we can deal damage to him. Anyway, it's a pretty complex fight in a way, but we have our system down for it. Okay, so we need to get him into a trap now. Oh, it disappeared. Yeah, so I think that trap disappeared right when I was dragging it to him. We just gotta make sure we don't hit him with fire damage. That has 10 more seconds. Yeah, I'm not sure I can get him there without stepping in it. Yeah, that was a bad place for that trap because I couldn't really drag the boss in it without going into it myself. At least I don't think it's possible that I could have, but we need to kill the next Fire Fist now. Make sure he dies on the boss. But yeah, if we get him to a trap before we deal the fire damage, we'll basically be able to damage him in addition to him getting that debuff, I think. But either way, he will eventually go down. Okay, so get the fire fist, and we'll have a trap, so this will actually be good if we can kill the fire fist this time without doing fire damage to him. Okay. Okay, so we just have, like, I think the debuff lasts a few seconds, so we just, oh, that's so bad timing again. There we go, he's open. I thought he didn't get in the trap, but whatever happened, he was open for damage. This is pretty tough. He usually does a lot of damage here. I just need to manage my defenses. So dub and stuff, this is not War of the 300 Pigs, this is Moria, which is somewhat related. Well, not really somewhat related, I mean more it's a Dwarven area. Oh no, I was trying to use my heal. I thought its cooldown was up basically. I was going to try to heal the Runekeeper who was taking a lot of damage, but I'd be more useful actually taunting and doing tank stuff. Okay, so got that done without any wipes or anything. And Pepsi Tate, you said this is good, some good keyboard ASMR. That is, I guess, good, because I always worry that the keyboard's too loud, actually. The microphone, I think, tends to pick up the vibrations. Ooh, were we going to clear this one at all? Or did I mishear you? Okay, I thought you said we'll take a break then a new instance. So I was talking to my group, and they were like, well, we'll take a break then run a new instance, but he actually said was we'll kill everything and then take a break and run a new instance, and that's basically what I repeated. Oops, I think there's a charge amount, yeah. So I like to try to pull everything, but I also have to keep in mind everybody doesn't keep up. I don't know, I think there's a sentry that usually gets loots that some people will follow, but it's just kind of the way the sentry goes, I think it disappears. But, oh, we actually do have our healer. I forgot we got the new minstrel healer, actually. I thought this whole time we were out without a healer. I was wondering how I was surviving so much. Oh, where'd all these guys come from? Oh, they even shut the door on them. Wow. This is so weird. I haven't actually seen this happen. This became a mess. Usually we don't. Well, the one other time we did this, we didn't have all the extra mobs come. We have a ton of these skirmishers. They're the really annoying ones. If I could actually, I don't know what I have aggro on, so I'll just LOS what I see here, basically. And then see, yeah, I'm only missing, I think, one archer back there. That one's targeting me, or I have aggro of him, but then he was targeting somebody else for an induction, it looks like. That's another thing with the skirmishers, sometimes can't tell just by looking at them who they have aggro. Wait, what did that say? It said the sentry cries louder as he falls. Hopefully his cries fall upon deaf ears. Yeah, I guess that's like a thing that could pull even more mobs. Okay, so I think we are good to go to the next floor. Oh, and Don White, I think I never actually talked about your message. You said you watched my LM Blue Line video today. That was a little bit while ago, but I hope it was helpful. I think that's still mostly up to date, even though it was like maybe a couple of years ago. Alright, let me taunt these. Trying to get aggro of these things. If I am going too slow, let me know. So I personally think, as I mentioned, it's fun to go through this fast, pulling as many as possible, but like, if it were up to me, I would try to pull this whole floor. Basically, I don't know how many more mobs are on this floor. The first floor is a little bit scary. We'll have a lot of fun then, but it's kind of hard here where they aren't really compacted tightly, all the mobs. I actually need to get some of my wrath up. Some of these doors, not dwarves, have mobs behind them, like that one had a lieutenant. This one does not have any. Gotta use sacrifice on the healer so he doesn't take too much damage. Oh, the healer's actually basically following me. That's good. Oh no, I see another minstrel going down. Okay, so I think I have things a little bit more under control. So I didn't need to use that big AoE force taunt, so the button in 8, the skill in 8 is Thunderous Roar, and that is a force taunt for all enemies nearby, but it has like a 40-second cooldown. It might be off cooldown by my next pull, actually. I think it used to have like a minute 15-second cooldown maybe, and I'm maybe still used to thinking about it like that, but basically when there were like the 4 archers left, I didn't really need it. So this was the first boss room. We already cleared that. I think that means the steps are somewhat nearby. I'm actually not 100% sure where they are, but we'll eventually get to them. I wonder if you can jump down here. All right, let's try that. This is where the first boss does his announcements. I think you can actually get here just going up the steps. I didn't even realize that, but I think somebody is picking up things for a quest. We need to wait for everybody to get here anyway and wait for the leg slow. I think we're still waiting on the captain. Okay, who is doing some looting? I think he's heading down now. I could go ahead and start the pull, but I just don't want anybody to miss the fun. It's kind of interesting, you could see his icon thing, indicator, spiraling down the stairs. need to use sacrifice on the... Oop. Yeah. Things get a little bit messy, so I need to use sacrifice. There are a ton of these archers. I need a force taunt. There we go. Okay, that should be a little bit better. But I wanted to use sacrifice on the healer because that redirects the damage they take to me. Doesn't reduce it. I guess it reduces the damage they take, but it just goes to me instead. Anyway, this is always a fun pull, I think. Fun area to pull. It's good if you can line of sight things around a corner, but sometimes with a big group like this and people wanting to hit things, which I understand that doesn't quite happen, and that'd be a lot of work for just like one pull like that. So Nathan, you said you're currently leveling a red line Beorning, which you're enjoying, but you keep hearing they're really bad at DPS. Would you switch to blue or yellow? So I wouldn't say they're really bad at DPS, but they are not as good as other DPSs, so that's probably like they're relatively bad at DPS. So you were wondering if you should switch maybe to blue or yellow, and I think at end game people mostly run yellow, and then some Beornings do tank. I think they're pretty similar to Guardian and like power levels. Oh, one of the minstrels died. Okay, can't let these orcs sleep during all this. Okay, make sure I get aggro on what I can. I do have one more AoE force taunt and Relentless Maul. It can hit 10 at once, I think. Okay, and one of these orcs is sleeping through the noise. Thought I saw somebody's morale go way down, but I guess they got healed up. I can't let them sleep. Oh, and the sentry. I don't know if it'll actually pull more mobs, but he just ring the bell, which I think would normally pull all of these pretty much. Still so hard to tell if I have aggro on everything. This one I don't. And Cam, you asked if they got rid of the lifetime membership for people who paid for it in the past. So if you already had a lifetime membership, you still have that. They did not get rid of that if you already had it, but they do not have it available for sale anymore. Well, there was one skirmisher hiding. This is probably the one I woke up at the end, but yeah, that should be. Somebody's in anti-exploit mode. There's one in anti-exploit mode, I think. Sucks. Here he is. Okay, so I think that is all of the mobs. I think the captain has some quests to do to loot, and I am not targeting anything else, so yeah, that's just pretty fun, I think. I guess there's one more sentry in here. This was the first one we passed by, we snuck by. I need that as well. So we're getting a port to Bree so we can get our subscriber services thing, so we can sell on the go. Usually everybody in this group is like standing randomly around a 21st hall or something, but I think we've gone through like most of the quests that people are scattered about, and right now a bunch of people are at Bree. I guess after that port. I could be going on a mount, but we'll have to wait anyway, so I'll just go in bear form. The only request I would have is at least the turtle at some point. I'm one away from the thing. LI. Okay, so this is the subscriber town services, which is one of the most OP things because you can just do all these things on the go. I think we're going to do a 16th haul for our next instance, it sounds like. But yeah, with the lifetime membership, just thinking a little bit more about that, it's unfortunate that they don't sell it anymore because some players like myself could still get a lot of value out of it even if I purchased it like now. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the best deals, and it's something I briefly considered way back in the day. But ultimately did not get, because I didn't really play LOTRO when that was available. I started shortly after it was taken out, actually, I think. So I think we're doing about a 6-minute break. A 6-minute break. I'm not taking a 6-minute break from the stream, but in the instance, we're taking a 6-minute break. Or the event before the next instance, 6 minutes. So I have a few minutes to maybe clear up my inventory or look at. I have a bunch of like forestial rep items, but I think I mainly use those on my runekeeper, or at one point used those on my runekeeper. I was like building a little bit of reputation there on him. Maybe even my warden, that was true. I thought it was my runekeeper for like tailor items, tailor recipes that I don't really care about anymore. But yeah, I have just like so many reputation item things, and they're easy to get, easy to barter for at the skirmish camp. And I have all these Moria ones, of course, that I basically give away to people in my kin or people that need, just because I accumulate so many I could actually use them on alts. I getting the good old hiccups here. So Diadem, you said you took the lifer offer for the first few days after it went live. So yeah, at $200, I also think that's what the price was, but that's probably one of the best deals in like any MMO that I can think of, just because you got the subscription, which is like, depending what bundle you get for the subscription, it's like $10 to $15 a month. I usually go for LOTRO the 3-month one, which is $30 for 3 months, so it's like $10 a month effectively. But yeah, that's like 20 months worth of subscription cost at $10, which is less than 2 years. So if you played for 2 years, it'd basically pay off. But if you play for like the 10, 12, 13, whatever years, whatever, I don't even know how many years, whatever anniversary we just had. But if you've played that many years, it's just an insane amount of value you get compared to somebody who's like pays a subscription the whole time. And not even to mention you get the 500 LOTRO points for essentially free now. It is still like part of your initial $200 investment, but it's just like crazy. And again, with all the LOTRO points, I've heard from people that have lifetime subscriptions that like return to the game after a long break, and they have, so with the VIP you get 6,000 LOTRO points a year, you get 500 a month. So I guess I can go ahead and enter the 16th hall just so I know when everybody's ready. We'll probably do a ready check and all that, but it's better than just like randomly roaming around Bree while I talk, I suppose.
Whatever nameless thing dwells there has entrapped many an
But what was like, oh yeah, so you get like 6,000 LOTRO points a year, and I think the LOTRO store, and that was open sometime like maybe shortly before Rise of Isengard. But it was a long time ago, and I hear people coming back with like 30,000 LOTRO points to spend or 40,000, which is a crazy amount and enough, especially because you're like VIP, you have all the quest packs. It's enough to get basically anything you want from the LOTRO store for a while, and you can get like all the expansions with that pretty easily. You don't have to worry about paying real money for expansions. Because of that, you get a lot of things. So in hindsight, I think it is, and even probably a lot of people knew it at the time, I just wasn't really too knowledgeable about LOTRO, I guess, back then. I played the, I don't think I played the beta. I'm thinking I made a trial account back when like 7-day trials were a thing. I think I made one of those and didn't really like the game too much, like when it came out. Even though a couple of my friends played, and one of them actually does have the lifetime VIP. And trying to think, maybe a couple other people do that I know. I don't really remember exactly who has it, but yeah, the point is, it is definitely crazy value, especially for people who have had it for a long time. And I think that's actually one of the reasons, probably, that expansions are not available in the LOTRO store right away. So maybe these people who are VIP or like lifetime, they have the lifetime subscription, they can't just use all their LOTRO points they get without having to pay anymore. They could just use those LOTRO points to get the expansion, but because expansions aren't available in the LOTRO store right away, they do have to spend real money if they want it. So that probably helps a little bit, and is at least part of the reason why they're not available in the LOTRO store right away, at least I would guess. I have no idea what DW is. Oh, Deeping Wall. It took me, as soon as I said the DW out loud, I recognized it. It's not usually you see something run, but we are on Legendary server on Nora, so the level cap is 95, I mean. And we just got, basically we're at the Helm's Deep era. And we got the 12-man Deeping Wall raid, epic battle raid, which for me was surprisingly fun. I do gotta admit, I was surprised at the fun I had with epic battles. There's a lot of downtime in them that's pretty boring, but just overall I had more fun than I expected with those, even if parts of them are boring and parts of them are more exciting. It's like, I'd say in the actual epic battle, maybe 2/3 of it is boring and 1/3 of it is exciting for a typical epic battle, and maybe some of the raid is like half exciting, half not exciting times. But basically going into them, I expected it to be like 0% exciting and 100% boring, so better than I expected, which was nice. But yeah, already getting a little bit tired of them, just the repetitiveness and only having one available in raid size and one available in 6-man size. So yeah, I think we are still waiting for people to return. And one thing I want to do is just look at my vault on this character. It looks like it's not completely full, so I could put like all my reputation items in there. Did anybody still need Moria rep items? I keep giving my rep items to them, but it's okay. They're easy to get again, and let's see. They're just like taking up space in my inventory. I'd rather somebody get use out of them, and I don't play my ults enough on this server to really consider it. What do I want to get them? Well, these purple ones. Okay, I still have 40 of the other purple ones if you want them. Okay. No problem. They just take up space in my inventory, and I basically don't play my ults enough that I need to worry about that right now on them yet. So Diadem, you said even as a lifer you still contribute every month to the store, and as expansions release you do your part. You love the game and have made friends all over the world. Yeah, that is something that actually, you're not the first person I think to say that as a lifetime. Remember, some people have even said like every month they get some like LOTRO points thing in the store to still support the game and do like get expansions and all that stuff. And I also agree, it does help to have a good kinship like the Mithril League, which is the kinship I'm in on Anor. Basically formed it, one of the old players I used to play with on Arkenstone formed it, and a few people from that server and I guess my old kin in Arkenstone that I still have a couple characters in, but basically nobody still plays in that kin on Arkenstone. But a few of the people that used to play in that now play in the Mithril League on the Nor server. And basically, I guess it's good to mention that basically the only reason I play on a Nor is for the kinship to still play with these people, because all the low-level content is still the same, and I love the low-level content in LOTRO. I love the Moria instances, even all the Ingmar stuff, and level 1 to 50 Eriador stuff, and Mirkwood, even up to Isengard. I think some of the questing gets a little bit less exciting starting with Isengard, even though I like it. I enjoy the content. But just when I generally think about good times in LOTRO, it's usually like level 1 to 60, 65 or so. Really 1 to 60 I think would be the big chunk. Nothing against Mirkwood, that's just, I don't know, I feel like 1 to 60 is what I think. But yeah, just playing with the kinship, having a kinship I think is a good thing in LOTRO. Apparently I have Essence Armor. I keep forgetting about that. It's bound to on my account, so if I ever get a Light Armor rare, and would actually find an Essence in it. Yeah, I just saw you fade in. That was weird. They said they were like here. I don't know. But like all of us disappeared, I think. But then they also faded in for us that dwarf and the blue gun log. So the Master X-Man, you asked if SSG changed their mind about the race change token, and I don't think they changed their mind. They just were having some issues with it, so they didn't release it with update 28. They delayed it until probably a future update, maybe the first update after update 28, I'm not sure. But it was delayed, and I think they still expect to eventually have it. And then Skeletor, hello, you said you also love the low-level instances like Ingmar, Moria, and perhaps Isengard. Yeah, Isengard, I would have to run those again. I think some of them were fun. I enjoyed my time during Rise of Isengard, the expansion there. Alright, I only pulled that many because the healer slapped me. So actually for me as a healer, I like times like this when it's a little bit tougher to heal. But just because he slapped me, I wanted to make it a little bit extra challenging for him. I'm actually running out of the captain buff area, but I just wanted to hit that mob and get aggro. I think actually I didn't even pay too much attention to the aggro, I just wanted to hit him. I think we also have some of the enemy totems probably slowing us right now, but we're surviving just fine. I was actually a little bit worried. I know these higher level instances, this is the same level mobs, but higher difficulty instances, I guess 16th Hall is one of them where we just take more damage. Plus we've been here before. I feel like to make it interesting we have to like do something a little bit extra. But I was honestly a little bit worried pulling that it wouldn't go quite so well. And Don White, you said it is tough to find good kinships, and I agree. I have actually that problem finding a guild in World of Warcraft. I haven't found a good guild in World of Warcraft basically since Wrath of the Lich King, unfortunately. I had a couple that I didn't mind, but just like no guilds I ever liked. But in LOTRO it's also pretty similar. I was having trouble finding a good kinship on Arkenstone. That was actually the main server I played before Anor. And I did have my old kinship, but as I mentioned, a lot of the players in that kinship, even the ones that like play now on the server with us, they stopped playing. So I was kind of looking to do like raids and a little bit of stuff with them. I was having trouble finding one, but recently somebody, actually a viewer, invited me to a kinship they're in, and so far I enjoy that kinship and have had fun running content with them. On Arkenstone, like the new level 130 content mainly. I haven't even done much with Minas Morgul with them because I'm still getting, I don't know, still getting caught up with that, but have gotten caught up with it, but haven't run everything. But we've run like the new raid, the new 6-man. I've done that with them and it's been enjoyable at least. And the Master X-Man, you said pull every mob? I would like to pull every mob. I'll try to pull, maybe I'll pull the whole next room. Actually, we have a little hallway here. I don't even know if we have to go down here for anything, but one of the big reasons we're rerunning these is for deeds, and we have an Orc Slayer deed. This is actually, you can see the steps go down, but it's just buried under rubble. That little detail is always nice to see. It would basically be out of place. I guess this could be a circle room, but I think it's supposed to be a spiral staircase down, but again, blocked by rubble. And yeah, I think Diadem, I agree with you as well. And for anybody, when I say Diadem in the chat, that is for Dingier, and he plays Diadem. I think his YouTube name used to be Diadem. This is one of those healing orcs. When we damage him, he just heals up. So while I was pressing all my buttons, I was healing him. Okay, so I will actually use a couple things here. Oops, I used the wrong button. Here, I'm going to go ahead and taunt these. Okay, just had to get those couple extra. Oh, DeGlory is taking damage. I don't even know where he went. I'm not sure, he might be one of the players in the group that actually doesn't like pulling that many. Totems are slowing. Alright. Actually, don't even think I have aggro on everything. Well, I don't have redirect for the healer. My heal is also on cooldown, so I'll use one more and then I think I can heal him. Unfortunately, we don't have too much AoE in the group. We do have the Runekeeper. I don't know if they're playing lightning or fire. It looks like maybe fire right now. The other minstrel still taking damage from something. I really do think it is more fun pulling this, but I do always worry about people in the group. I'm taking a lot of damage right now. I'm going to have to use a cooldown. Alright, got my big force taunt so I can... Here's another thing that's like attacking the healer that I didn't get aggro on. We also have a totem. I need to destroy that totem. Ooh, I actually have aggro on that ranged one. And hello, beginning of days, you said you have never witnessed drama in LOTRO, although you're a solo player for the most part. Yeah, I don't think there's usually too much drama, at least that I've seen in a game. I think one of the big things with the community, maybe, I don't see too much drama with them, but I think there's more of a gap between like hardcore in-game runners, maybe the more casual, or people that haven't even run in-game but are slightly interested in it, because there are a lot of like systems in LOTRO, so it just takes a while to get used to. Usually it's hard to pug stuff, but I don't think there's too much drama with that. So without like a kinship, some of that stuff can maybe be hard to get into. It seems like, but that doesn't really have to do with drama. It's just kind of the only thing I could think of with the community that would be somewhat like that. And Cam, you said there was a lot of drama back in Shadows of Ingmar between the serious raiding kinships. I wasn't So I think there still is a raiding scene. People still try to push like the most challenging stuff and try to do whatever like tier 5 raids now, get them completed first. But back to, Kim, what you said about Shadows of Ingmar. You were in a kin called Vengeance of Infamous on the Nimrodil server. Oop. Oh, can't let these little orcs just get. Oh no. Oh, sorry about that. That's for slapping me earlier. I totally ran off without actually taunting anything, so the healer just took like all the damage. I didn't even use redirect on him, but as I mentioned, I'm actually surviving just fine. I used a big cooldown though that helps me stay healed up, but not everybody else is surviving fine right now, and that's something I got to try to help with and destroy all these defiler totems. Actually, we got healed up. Something healed everybody up. Probably the healer, if I had to make a guess. Okay, so I'm actually dragging everything out of the captain's little buff area, so I'll get back in it. And all these rangers, ooh, oh no. But I started to go down quick. I didn't pay too much attention to my morale. Might have a battle res. We have like 3 people that can. Maybe. Oh man. That's the reason I don't like to pull everything. I feel like that, well, it was my fault for pulling everything, but I also feel like in the combat that could have gone better if I did a little bit more. Well, everybody revived. Usually we have one person run back, which is me because I run the fastest. I have Wanderlust, so that's an extra 40% run speed. So Master X-Man, you asked if I tanked the new raid yet, and I have not tanked the new raid. And Cam, you said 2 different kinships. One was Vengeance and the other was Infamous. Oh, Vengeance and Emphasis, not... I don't remember what I said, but... Yeah, so I thought it was... The kin was called, like, Vengeance and Infamous or whatever. He said. As, like, 1 kinship instead of 2. So he said there's actually a video for the Vengeance kinship on YouTube from back in, like, 2009. That's a long time ago. There's some very old LOTRO videos that I will occasionally run into, but some of them are pretty interesting. In beginning of days, I think he said you're mostly a solo player. That kinships are tempting, but you did it with guilds and WoW and you never really got anything out of that. Yeah, I can see, especially if you love solo playing, like just going through the game solo, maybe you're questing on your own, that you wouldn't get too much out of kinships. But he said, yes, I do love pulling large, and I seem to get happy when I have the whole world crushing down on me. That is true. It's more challenging and more entertaining for me. Unfortunately, it did not work out too well with that pull, so I'll be a little bit more careful. That's one thing when I said the first one we did, or the first couple we did, I was worried there would be a little bit more issue because this instance has been harder, but then I thought I was okay, and I thought that one would be challenging. One thing is the filers, I think they're getting to us with the totem and, or the curse shouter, as they're called. They're probably doing some annoying curses that don't help too much with our cause in defeating them. But yeah, I think I do get excited when I have all these mobs attacking me. That's kind of like on Muiden when I was going through War of the Three Peaks, and I was like excited to be defeated by all those Ingmar when I pulled like a whole tower. Oh, so Cam, I think you're talking about a creep kinship, maybe? You said a clip of your spider getting one-shot by epic conclusion in the video. It sounds like a PvMP thing to me. Oh, we got the boss. Yeah, if we were a little bit tougher and we got through the first pull, like if we ever ran this again, I would want to try this. Doing that first pull, the whole room plus the boss. We gotta stay out of the poison here though. And I also have to try to avoid pulling those extra mobs. I don't have to, but it'd probably be nice to try to avoid that. And I agree with Don White that there is a lot more to the game with dungeons and raids. A lot of people like that, but it's not for everybody. But I think some of the dungeons in LOTRO have a lot of fun content to go through. Some of them you can go back and solo even, and they might still be a little bit fun, or if you like the challenge, trying to solo them somewhat on level. Wait, what did he say about boar? I'll skewer you like a boar. I didn't know what he said about boar, but I just know we have like the boar mounts now as a new thing. Warden's Club of the Second Age. And my gloves, these would not be an upgrade. Should probably loot this. I have no idea how those orcs didn't notice me. I guess because they're busy. Looks like they're doing their version of praying or whatever. Oops, I'm trying to loot my Gundabad and Moria, but I keep looting it when somebody else is looting it. Oop, I was already going to do that. See a loose orc, but I really have no idea who he's targeting, and I know Relentless shows it's off cooldown. It looks like it's actually off cooldown now, but it's on cooldown when it does that. Somebody stunned him. I guess one of the minstrels ranged attacking him. I'll just use a force taunt to be safe and get all the aggro. There we go, I didn't even have to run up to him. Alright, so now I don't think we had a Globsnaga before that, but now we're going into the Globsnaga section of this instance. So we were just getting Orc Slayer, but I think we'll get Globsnaga and maybe Orc Slayer. Or maybe I already finished Orc Slayer. I'm actually curious, I should check my virtues because I'll probably be getting some virtue XP in this. It looks like I'm earning tolerance. I think I want to actually start earning loyalty at some point. No, it doesn't get that effective until higher levels, but maybe this is high enough a level for it to be effective. But that's like the one, it looks like I have four big virtues equipped, so maybe I could do the fifth one as loyalty instead of fortitude. So I'll go ahead and select that earning to get some of that up a little bit. I think this guy gets the worms after we pass by him. They're not really that big of a deal, but I thought I could try to get aggro on them, but I don't even think I ended up hitting any of them. So beginning of days, you asked if I ever played EOS, or you started playing EOS today and you asked if I ever played that. Do you mean ESO, like Elder Scrolls Online? Otherwise, I don't actually know what EOS is, but if it is Elder Scrolls Online, I have not played that either. I really don't play too many games. I mainly focus my time on a couple games. Right now it's really LOTRO. I was trying to, I guess last week maybe a little over a week ago even. I did the stream of World of Warcraft, kind of getting back. That was my first time really playing it in maybe a year or two. Doing the Shadowlands pre-patch, but then update 28 came out for LOTRO, and I've been focused on that ever since that. And now doing something a little bit different, but it's still LOTRO. Yeah, so ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. I have seen One of my friends did at least briefly play that I saw it. As far as I remember, not a big fan of like the combat system with that. I know it's like a technically more up to date than LOTRO thing, but I prefer the, I guess, classic tab targeting style MMO. All their inductions, that's what really scares me about places like this when I pull a couple groups at once. But if it were up to me, I would have tried to pull the whole room, but because we had a wipe earlier, I decided that, oh no. I decided that would not be the case. I don't actually know. I wonder if they did some explosion. I really don't know what's actually killing them. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that would happen, I guess. Okay, so we gotta kill the crazed Globsnaga. I think that's the one that explodes. Yeah, sorry about the deaths. If I am actually pulling too many, let me know and I can slow down, but just trying to make it more exciting. Okay, because you all know I like pulling a bunch, but I really don't want people to actually like get upset or annoyed with it. I think maybe throwing your banner at least is fun to all the orcs. Oops, did I just use a cooldown like randomly? I think I might have just used like counter out of combat and all that. So I'll probably pull all these. Just watch out for the crazed Knobgoblas. And got my force on early and I already have sacrifice up. But yeah, I don't actually see any of the crazed ones, the explosive ones. Oh, there was one, I think. Maybe. So, with Elder Scrolls Online beginning of days, you would have to agree with the, I guess, the combat system. You're already finding a game a little limiting in the abilities on button panel. It's more like a button smashing game in ways. But there must be something to it. That's one thing also with Guild Wars too that I don't like. You have like so few abilities. It's like I feel like in that, from my limited experience in it, you're just like pressing the same things over and over. I like a little bit more variety, more buttons to push, and that's actually one thing with World of Warcraft that I haven't liked too much. A lot of classes seem like they've gone to maybe 2 or 3, in the extreme cases maybe like 2 or 3 abilities you use. And what was that? Oh. Sorry, I missed what he said. There was like something I thought I missed, but there are just some colors. Whoa. I don't know what, like maybe some sort of explosions again. Maybe there was a crazed Knobgobla, but I'm really worried about the healer. I think there's a deed for the crawlers, they said. I wonder what my progress is on that. See, I think we went, when we had a choice to go left or right, we went right last time. Oops, I did not mean to go in main form. That's actually bad because now I can't use my big force taunt. There we go. I think I hit a good chunk. It's a little bit hard to see right now, but try to turn them away and make sure there are no explosions going on. Yep, I saw all these crawlers going towards the healer, but I don't think they do too much. I always like when you can do stuff in bear form, like turning that wheel. Already getting more Moria rep items. Already have another 100 of the, whatever that yellow one was, worn dwarf carvings, I think. And there are many, I guess it's just a bunch of crawlers in this room. Probably all going to the healer right now. Haven't done anything to get aggro. There we go. Oh. I just opened, apparently my Chrome just loaded. For the playback of the stream, I had to open then like an extra Chrome tab, actual stream page, watch page for this, but I've been on the YouTube studio dashboard, which when it works, it's fine. I actually prefer to read chat on that, it's easier. But sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes chat doesn't actually come through, which it has been for this stream, which is good, but I just saw that one like loaded when I was going off, and I don't think it echoes, or echoed, but anyway, that's what went on there. So yeah, this is just a boss. I don't remember him doing too much. I think I remember him doing stuff, but I guess it's nothing really to note or remember. There's a debuff on a captain. It looks like it was a power drain because his power went away. I am getting knocked back a little. So far, not much to it. Besides him saying "rah" a lot. Oh, I guess that's when he knocked me back. It's like he's... Whoa. It was like he was swinging up for a big hit, but then when he went down, he was like "rah, rah, rah." Like he's just growling. Gobsong make me think of a Beorning. Interesting cloak that I actually could upgrade my cloak, which is a shield, but my back item. I wonder... Probably be pretty easy to find something better, but I don't quite think this is. This one has a lot more morale. It's actually... has frost and shadow. I'm going to roll on that. And look at it a little bit more. Except, did it go to my overflow? But I don't need, of course, I don't need the XP gain from the Shield of the Hammerhand since I have my XP locked right now to stay at level 60, but I think it is an upgrade. God, I replaced my Shield of the Hammerhand. I didn't even think about that, that's the XP buff item. Yeah. I think I still have that XP earring though. Can replace that next if I think about it. Okay, I think we're going to go down this way. This is the way we went last time. You can either go, like there is a straight path where we could go down. We have to get to a Grotbog Queen. All these Grotbog, I think they fit the environment a little bit with Moria, but they really are a little bit gross. Well, I guess we're going all yellow on that. Now that he's dead, we actually did get it off, but that's kind of funny we went all yellow, which is like the damage over time version of the Fellowship maneuver. But I think we're good to go. We just need to get the queens, then are good to move on. The captain is taking damage, except I'm stunned, so I cannot use sacrifice. Charge Fil Gashan runestone, the good old lightning runestone that just defeated a bunch of these. Oops. I know my skill bar I think is very weird with the Beorning because I have my main form, bear form switch on 5, so I just press 5 to switch between the forms. And I think that started because the main form skills you get 1, 2, 3, and 4 filled up, but then in bear form you get a little bit more skills. So like armor crush would be one of the main skills that I could have left, I guess, of switching to main form. But it's kind of a random thing I was just thinking of when I sometimes mispress 5, especially in bear form, because I'm stretching my fingers to 6, even like 7 or 8 frequently. So beginning of days, I've been a little bit slow about chat. So beginning of days, you said that was one reason you kind of left WoW. At one stage it found you were using like 2 abilities for everything, and when fishing was more exciting than fighting, it was never a good sign. Yeah, I'd have to definitely agree with that. One thing, I have played my enhancement shaman in the Shadowlands pre-patch, and I think I had a lot of skills that could potentially be used fairly frequently, which was nice to see. I always liked enhancement shaman, and even in the days of like Battle for Azeroth, which I generally didn't like, it was probably the most fun I could have with the class. But that's I guess for people that don't know, the mage is kind of my longtime favorite class in WoW, but at sometimes I think the shaman has been more fun to me. And Skeletor said you think LOTRO is a bit easy at the moment. That is definitely true, that it is a bit easy, and some things are a lot easy even. See, I think we need to head down. We probably got all the Grotbog Queens. Oh, and I caused a big issue. I caused a very big issue. I think even a couple times maybe on the last boss fight I had a reflect item up on accident. And we basically had to reset, which is a long run back. Just think from when we... Yeah, and I gotta get rid of from my reflect gear this time. Okay, so yeah, last time we did this, we were doing the challenge mode. So for the challenge mode, you can't kill any of the ads, but the ads have like 400 health, so they're also going to be super easy to kill, but we don't want to kill them. We need to like 100% avoid AoE here. But then you also have like reflect gear, and I can't do anything for aggro. I can't use AoEs. I just like take the boss, do what I can, maybe kite him around a little bit, even maybe not kite him around, but the healer will have to kite all the ads around. Okay, so sell all of those, and then I need to get my reflect gear off. Yeah, that one, actually I recognize that as a reflect piece. See, this one says removes up to 3 wound effects. I didn't even know that was a thing on this. I'll drag that to my bars and try to remember I can remove 3 wound effects with that on a 20-minute cooldown. But yeah, just making sure I don't have... Make sure... Yeah, this one is a any damage 10% chance to receive 10% devastate, so that's not reflect. I don't think any of my weapons reflect. Apparently this has an on use as well. I could get plus 190 maximum morale for 10 minutes on a 20-minute cooldown. I don't have all my gear pieces equipped. I'd actually like to have everything equipped and see if I could get to 20k morale. Let me actually try that real quick. Oh, 18.7k, so kind of close. But I think that's the only thing that reflects. Everybody can get in the room. But Skeletor, back to your point, I actually only read your first sentence. You said you remember back in the days you're talking about like when Angmar was released, or even Moria, it was way more challenging to just kill normal mobs. And I definitely think that was true even in like Siege of Mirkwood when going into Moria, and even parts of Eriador, like Lonelands. I remember that place being challenging on my Runekeeper. My Runekeeper was my first character to go through like the game pretty much, or at least that part of the game up until Moria. And Moria was very challenging on my Runekeeper. That was tough. There were also other things in Moria that killed me, like falling would be actually... I don't know if I died more to mobs or falling. Oh, and I gotta avoid the AoE. I'm going to, yeah, just drag my AoEs way out of the way. just so I don't use them. I'm going to, I guess, stay in bear form the whole time. I can't do anything about the aggro. I can use... I wonder, I guess the minstrel switched to healing the DPS one. Oh, we might be able to reset it. I think the captain just said somebody killed it, and then he said he killed it. I wonder if he did like one of his bleed spreads that maybe don't know about what the captain, but yeah, there are a lot of classes with like random things that some people might think of that are AoEs that are just through traits or something. So we're trying to reset the boss. Some of them aren't resettable, but I don't even know if this would reset the challenge, but we're trying to reset. I don't know if we will be able to. We might just die and we're trying to reset for the challenge. So he was talking about Grave Wound. It's if you use it like after cutting attack or before, it will put the bleed AoE. I think it's a set bonus if you want to look at that to know for sure. But yeah, that's what I was just saying, that he might have not been familiar with that, and it turns out that is the case. I guess I could have waited for Gunlock to run back. I had that do not fall, so I can just... I will leave and test that. So we're saying to try to reset the challenge mode. Since we killed one of the little bugs. Looks like it is raining in Bree. It's one thing I like with LOTRO, the varied weather. Yep. Okay, we did get the challenge by going back out and back in. But yeah, Moria, when I went through that on my Runekeeper, it was difficult to navigate, first of all. I didn't like navigating around it. And it was super tough with the mobs. I died a lot, especially as a squishy Runekeeper. And this was before like we had the trait trees as they are now, so like all the lightning stuff I don't think was as powerful as it is, especially with like stuns. So yeah, I was tough with the Runekeeper. I think as I mentioned, I was also like extra squishy. Am I going the right way? Do we actually go upstairs on this? I feel like I'm going the wrong way, but we'll see where this goes, where this leads. But by the time I went, I think I've talked about this, like in all the videos where I talk about Moria, my experience on Moria. I don't really remember it too much on my Warden for some reason. I just know I went out of Moria on my Warden before I went out of Moria on my Runekeeper. I'll probably actually go this way. There are a couple Grotbog workers. Sometimes you can get bugged and stuck in combat if you don't kill them. Actually, it's full of guards. So I'll go ahead because people are a lot behind and Beornings run fast, and I should be able to solo 2 elites, I would hope. Oops, I don't know why I'm dragging that in this. Okay, I would really hope, because I'm actually taking some damage. I just gotta get out of stuff and get some of my buffs up, but... But yeah, for some reason I just don't remember Moria on my Warden. I maybe remember a little bit going through the upper middle zone, whatever that's called. Nud Milek, maybe? Or is that the easternmost zone? Show map. Rovanian. Nud Milek. Durin's Way. I knew that's what it was called. I maybe remember a little bit of that, like the Halls of Stone and a little bit east maybe on my Warden. Oops, actually I need to use some of my heals. There we go, I was paying. These guys are just doing surprising damage. I also don't know how I killed the one that quick. It seems like it went down fairly quick for me not paying attention or anything. But yeah, so beginning of days, you went through Moria with your Lore Master. And I can definitely see that being tough on the Lore Master as well. I had a tough time on my Lore Master at low levels. That's what I think I mentioned when I first tried LOTRO. I tried the Lore Master because before Mines of Moria was like the mage-like class. I don't really consider it like too much like a mage today, and consider the Runekeeper a little bit like a mage, like thinking mage in terms of World of Warcraft. But yeah, my Lore Master also always had a tough experience on him. I could do things very slow on the Lore Master, so that's one thing I didn't like if you went through as like super slow. So Skeletor, you said you would love to see questing content a bit more challenging, and I think some people agree and some people would disagree with that. I'm also a little bit split personally. So I wanted my questing to be a little bit more challenging in general. But at the same time, sometimes it is nice that it is easy and can just like run through it without much challenge. I think that's especially true for people. I think there's a significant portion of the player base that are just like people that are interested in the Lord of the Rings story and not really care too much about like challenging, engaging MMO gameplay, I suppose. So for them, it could be a little bit rough if it were too challenging, but right now it's definitely like super easy. It could be more challenging. So yeah, I also think some group content areas, or maybe some specific areas in the landscape where there are more challenging quests that are like just optional side quests that you don't really have to do but can get like rewards for doing or whatever. I think those could be good options to make things more challenging. Places kind of like Limelight Gorge, if you're familiar with that one. That's the one that pops in my head. That one's a little bit tough. It's like a full Fellowship landscape area, but maybe small Fellowship landscape areas. Oh, need to get my AoEs off. Okay, I think we're all set. Again, no AoEs, got my reflect here. Just double checking everything myself so we don't have any issue with that. But yeah, I think if we fail the challenge, it sounds like we'll just try to wipe, but hopefully we won't fail. I think actually if I drag him away from the enemies, we could actually get an AoE or two off, but you know, want to be extra safe, so I won't try, especially probably heal the minstrel, the one that took damage. Ooh, I should have used sacrifice or whatever. Whoa, I almost used my AoE force stun. I'm actually going to drag that out of the way as well so I don't. I think I'm in a debuff area. I don't know exactly what it does. Ooh. Okay, let me do stuff. Do useful stuff. But yeah, at least these mobs, some of them do a decent amount of damage there. Killing all the squishies in our group, at least the relatively squishies. Okay, so now we can AoE, so I'll force stun all these little things, and if I can find them all, I think I just dragged it off my bars. Completely dragged it off. But yeah, we got the challenge done, so that's nice. So yeah, Skeletor, I definitely agree with that. Like when Legolas, for example, talks about like a big orc captain that is super evil and strong, and you arrive there and he just dies in 2 hits. That definitely does feel a little bit silly, I would think. And I even do think that was some of the enemies Some of them, it could make sense they die super easy, like, I don't know, like a random insect, like a veil swarm fly, whatever they're called, veil flies. So I think those ones, it makes sense that they're easy difficulty, and they actually have like the green mobs for that. But yeah, like a big orc captain that is super easy, super evil, should not be super easy. Even if the gameplay was a little bit slower, like longer paced fights, it might not necessarily need to be... Oh, I thought I recognized that name. It was something else that I misread at first. And then beginning of days, you said you wish the crafting / stock market system reflected WoW system like it used to. I wonder if you mean the auction house system by stock market, because I'm not actually sure what you mean by that. But crafting, I like the crafting system in LOTRO. I'm not sure. I wasn't actually too familiar with WoW's crafting system. Whenever I did crafting in WoW, I basically did gathering for basically most of my early days in WoW crafting wise. I had like on my mage I was a skinner and miner, which was super weird, but that's what I did. I think even most of my other characters were always skinners and miners. But yeah, with LOTRO, I like the crafting system. There are a few tiers, I think especially after the Supreme tier actually, that it gets a little bit grindy and boring. I think crafting feels a lot less useful, at least to me it feels less useful. So you do mean the auction house system. Yeah, the auction house is a little bit, I think, underutilized in LOTRO. It's also a little bit outdated. Guess I can get this. It's just a quest I can do. I actually plan to put this. I don't have a house on this server. I don't even think I have a house on Arkansas, my other server, but I think I can put this in my yep. Oh, yep. What are we doing, turtle? I totally missed what we were doing. Okay, so I think we're doing turtle next, which means I will be able to get my first stage, level 60 first stage, LI, which is exciting. I have a whole bunch of stuff built up towards like getting that as good as possible. I don't even know what the best stuff for the Beorning is, but yeah, I will get that, so that's exciting. So I should probably go towards Hall of Moria. Wait, 21st Hall. What does it say? Oh, it just said 21st Hall parentheses Moria. I thought it said like 21st Hall of Moria. But anyway, that's where I want to go. Yeah, actually my whole kinship is in this group. Everybody on in the kinship. And then we have all these other people and whatever like anonymous people to choose from for joining Turtle. Uh-oh. I don't know why we disbanded that, but we did disband that. And I think... Apparently I had a quest to turn in. I think these are just like repeatable daily quests. Give a little bit of item XP and silver, it looks like. They probably would give reputation, but I don't need that anymore. And yeah, Skeletor, I also use the auction house a lot, or at least used to use it a lot. Even in like level 105, I used it a lot to sell. I like making gold. Whoa, we're getting filled up quick. Ursa Major, I recognize that name. That's Beorning on the server, I think. A lot of morale. It's very hard to read with the text. I'm thinking it says like 43,000. Looks like he has some good gear. Then a random purple piece. Worth the leggings. That's kind of like out of place, all teal and a couple even gold pieces. Actually, they're running dual wield level 75 weapons, so probably for healing, they're probably a healing Beorning is why They don't have like a... So a lot of healing Beornings actually don't even use a legendary weapon. It's more optimal, at least, to not use one if you're only healing. But on this character, I'll probably get a single-handed first stage weapon, and then I'll have like an axe option for an offhand weapon if I find a better one. That would be great. Oh, I shouldn't have a raid lock. Group locks info. And yeah, the auction house, one actually nice thing, again with the VIP subscriber town services, that item's already OP enough, but one thing that actually is nice is the auction house. So you can just, oops, that's not the auction house. You can just buy stuff and sell stuff on the go. So that's very nice. Like, if I want to sell my chunks of Kazad's Garn, I could do that. There aren't any, but, or any to compare prices with. Maybe like, if I wanted to buy exceptional hides, there's one for 199 silver. Yeah, this server isn't the most populated, so I think it's a little bit scarce sometimes and all that, but yeah, at least the auction house is functional. One of the annoying things about it, if I think I accidentally used like a scroll of finesse or something. Whoopsies. Well, I'll have a little bit more finesse for this turtle fight. Super exciting one. Somebody, towards the beginning of the stream, I think it was Cam, maybe, that talked about it, the turtle boss in Moria, the Fil raid. Nornuin. So beginning of days, you said you're on Laurelin, so the auction house isn't super active on the server. Yeah, I know compared to Arkenstone is fairly active. It seems like on Honor it's also not too active, so sometimes it's hard to find stuff because of that. Like, compared to Arkenstone, or even a different game like WoW, you can find basically everything on the auction house there. But on Arkenstone, there's still a lot of stuff. A lot of low-level stuff is just super expensive because there's a lot more gold in general in the game, and people... I think we're just about ready to go, and I think I am good to tank this. Somebody else might end up tanking it, but I will do my best to keep aggro, as in I will spam my force taunts just so I can say I tank it. Oh, we're still waiting for somebody. Waiting for our Hobbit Minstrel healer. Yeah, so beginning of days, you said VIP is the best, but then you don't think you miss it, and then you can't open your mail on the go. That is true. Sometimes if my VIP lapses for a little bit and I'm not like doing content that requires it, it's like fine that I don't have it, but then there are also all the very nice things of, like right now, the VIP subscriber town services, that's super nice, but also the mobile mail can do that on the go. And yeah, just things like that that are nice with having it. Oh, somebody put do not follow me. Probably tank him back here. I'm guessing so Jimmo, who's actually the level 60 burglar in her group, I'm guessing he used his little force taunt thing. Deeping more. Here's actually these. I forgot about these items. One of them, I think, increases my morale that I used, but I still don't think... Yeah, we don't even have a captain, so of course I'm not getting to 20k. Woohoo. Alright, so I'll roll on all these. Roll on the Mythophyte, that's like the most needed thing. Actually, if the spear could go on the offhand, I would really want that, but I don't think it can. I need something like the spear. I think maybe it's only like a spear and javelin that can, I don't even know javelin that can drop from a room. Maybe there are other offhand weapons, but the offhand weapon I have is level 58 in purple, so I could just get like a slightly better one. But yeah, I'm ready to go craft, or not craft, but barter for my barter for our first stage, which I guess it would be old if it's from the first stage, but barter for my first stage, level 61st stage, so this is super exciting. Apparently I have a quest. Oh, that's the Longbeard Stable Master to go to the Gabalaka place, though, war room for the missions. But I don't remember. Maybe I have to go to the legendary trader. Let me just check the Beorning trader. Yeah, I don't think. Yep. So I have to go to the legendary trader for the Beorning, not the Beorning trainer. And I actually don't know where their trader is. Barter exchange, Moria. I guess I could do this. There are going to be a bunch of things that pop up, so a little bit hard to see. But I think they're all over here. Actually, the Beorning one, I think, is a dwarf, oddly enough. Okay, so first stage items, and we want level 60, so what do I want for a weapon? An axe, I assume. The one-handed options, I like axes the best. And I think a one-handed one would be better just because I can get more stats, and that's the main thing you want with tanking Beorning, and I just primarily tank. I don't care enough about the DPS, and actually when in main form I do prefer to dual wield. It does more damage, so that's good. It's just in bear form I will do slightly less damage, I think. But I think this is good to barter for the axe. I actually wouldn't mind doing a spear. I probably would do a spear, but with the racial trait we get more axe and club damage, where it doesn't matter too much, but it's 5%, but it's additive, so you have a bunch of other damage boosts, but it is a little bit, I think it's a little bit more thematic, I guess, the Beorning, even though I personally do like spears. And even with the Beorning, I'd probably choose that. Okay, so got the first stage, and we will go ahead and identify this, but just to let everybody know, I suppose, we're probably just about getting done with the stuff for today's stream. We did our 2 Moria instances, that's what we usually do, then we did the Eternal Follicle. I don't think we're going to be doing much else. I might run like a mission or 2 on this character. I thought about doing that. And I kind of just realized I have not talked about Gundabad basically at all. We've been going on about a bunch of other stuff, which we talked about Moria and difficulty, a bunch of different things. That's just what I remember off the top of my head, but that's okay. As I mentioned, that's how like streams go sometimes, and I don't always expect to talk about what I maybe have like an idea for during downtime. But anyway, I just thought about bringing that up real quick. And Skeletor, I don't think I actually talked about your last match, is about an old YouTube video where Warden solos Follicle on level, but it took like an hour, and it just amazes you. Yeah, Wardens were quite strong back in the day with the self-heals. They still have all of that, it's just for current end-game content, really. They're a little bit behind, or don't really play to the what tanking is built around now. Anyway, I need to go to the LI person. I always get lost right here searching for the LI person. I have no idea why. And I don't even need to actually go to the LI person. I need to go to the Legendary Item Forge and identify this and hope it has some good stuff. So Call to Wild, I think that is a red line thing, so I don't need that one. But Bee Swarm damage, okay. Thickened High Duration is actually a good one because I have that. And that's actually a really good buff for the Beorning, so that'll be good. But I should have a whole bunch of heritage, and if I don't, I probably have it all in my vault. I hope I have it all in my vault, or at least I probably have some in my shared storage, probably a ton on other characters. And it does look like I have it all in my vault. So I want to try to get this to level 60. And yeah, for the rest of the stream, I'm basically going to get my LI set up, I think. Withdraw all of these. Thunder Stabber. Yeah, I can't use a spear anyway. Those are all main hand weapons. But I guess I just have some random spears in this guy's vault. Okay, so the next thing is actually I'll open up the legendary item forge and then open relic combination, and I'll have these 3 panels open as I go through this. And I actually need to equip this, so that means I will have to deconstruct something. I do have the tempered tree cutter to deconstruct, so let's go to the deconstruct, show lock. Let's lock that. Unlock. I'll just unlock all of my allies actually, just to have them unlocked. Actually can deconstruct all these as well. Gotta be very careful to not unlock this one so I don't deconstruct it actually. Unlock that, and then can unshow locked. Deconstruct this, and what do I want? Bear form damage, probably. That's that little hobbit, he targeted me, he's just like stopped here and then paused and then went on about his business. That was kind of funny, but yeah, anyway, I will get, I think, bear form damage for that. And ooh, is this not high enough level, or is it, it's a major weapon legacy, so we'll see if I can even get that. But do I still don't have it equipped. Okay, that's why I can't do anything. And I can actually go ahead and replace the call to wild duration. So Skeletor, you said wardens are only there for DPS. That's pretty much true. They do need to stance swap, and it is best to weapon swap as well. I honestly hate weapon swapping. That's one of my least favorite things in the game, especially with allies. Weapon swapping, it's just not something I'm a fan of there being. I think it just shouldn't be something that exists. You shouldn't have to swap weapons in combat to be optimal, I don't think. So you said wardens don't just seem as strong as other classes in the end game, and I don't 100% agree with that. They do really good DPS though. As far as tanking goes, they're definitely not as strong, but I think people still take them. Like when you're thinking about progression type kins pushing the toughest in-game content, I think at least they still take wardens for their DPS. I think a yellow line warden also provides valuable buffs. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use, I had 100 of the 1500 XP things, so I'll try to use all the little ones first. If actually sort, it should go all in order, so just use a bunch of these and reforge. Probably that one. Don't want execute damage, that's even a useless skill in the red line. Bee Swarm debuff duration or vigilant roar damage. Probably Bee Swarm debuff duration, I'm thinking. I assume the debuff includes the dot for that. Okay, next up. Oh, it's not even halfway level to 60. For some reason, I think the 20s are pretty slow with the LIs. I always feel like the 30s are faster for some reason. I have no idea why, or if that's actually true, it feels like the 20s are super slow to level up. This one should give it a good chunk. This one as well. And I'll have other stuff to deconstruct and all that. I have, like, all these things I'm fine deconstructing. They're all at decent item level ranges where I could deconstruct all of those, actually. If I still need more XP to get this up, or even want some of those legacies, the chances at that. So legacy, I would like to add probably vigilant roar damage out of those. Again, execute damage, not only useless in the blue line where you don't even have execute, but... So I see what you're saying, Skeletor. So Yellow Line Warden is actually the strongest DPS. I did not know that. I knew Yellow Line Warden was surprisingly strong. I know they provide some buffs. It's a little bit weird. Weird to me at least. But then you said it's a lot more an effort to reach the same DPS level as like a Runekeeper Hunter, and that I can definitely agree with. Looks like I will need to deconstruct other stuff. 255,000 is the highest I have. And if I really need to, I can go on my other characters or even look in my shared storage. I probably have a ton of like heritage there. So as far as what I want from this dagger, maybe thickened hide duration. What do I have? Let me actually, I'll put this up here. We get another UI panel up. Actually, I'll move this down here. I don't like looking that far right for some reason. Okay, so I already have bear form damage, I already have thickened hide duration, don't want execute damage, I already have bee swarm. No, I have bee swarm debuff, not bee swarm damage. Oh, chance for wrath spending attacks to refund wrath. I might rather that than one of the ones I have. The main thing I wanted was heritage from that, which that did not do too much. Deconstruct this one. Apparently I have a couple of these still locked. This one also probably, I think this is a higher tier one than the one I got. That's a tier 2 chance for. This is tier 4. Don't want anything else from it. Okay, honey cake cutter. I'll do that one. That would be tier 3. Actually, I wonder if it all comes out at tier 2. I think, yeah, it comes out at the same tier anyway. Bear form damage, I already have that as well. Seems like I have all the good stuff. I'm not actually 100% familiar with all the Beorning legacies. Relentless maul damage, that's one we haven't seen that I think is useful to at least look at with us. Ooh, 475,000 from that one. Probably upgrade thickened hide duration actually. Couple of these, and it is level 48, not quite 60. So I can get another UI panel open, go to my shared storage, not my wardrobe, shared storage, and see if I have heritage in here. I have a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't look like I actually have heritage anywhere. Okay, I know some of my other characters have it, I just don't know who exactly. Don't want to exit game, so I'll log on one of my other characters and just send that over real quick, because I do want to get this LI pretty decently set up and go ahead and get that done. It's exciting and one of the things I've been looking for on this character. And Skeletor, I also agree with you about the Redline Warden needing like 1 to 2 minutes to get the DPS going. It even takes a few seconds to use like the cooldowns and debuffs to start, so I'm guessing my Warden has some of that stuff on the server. It looks like the Yellow Line Warden could get that going in 30 seconds. And I agree that the Yellow Line Warden will have a bit higher skill cap. I think it's a little bit different. I think they use actually the spear sweeping stuff. I'm not too familiar with that. Mostly what I play with Yellow Line Warden is landscape. I haven't looked too much into like the end game rotation or anything with them. With the Yellow Line specifically, I just use that for landscape because it's super strong in landscape. And I have here are the heritages thingies. So what's my Beorning's name? Luining? 222,000, 87,000. I actually don't have that many good ones on this character. That's unfortunate. Could be another character that has like a bunch of my good ones, but I do have 47 of the 8,000. That'll be a good chunk. 3 of the 41,000s. I'll go ahead and just send all these, I suppose. Don't need to individually pick out all of them. The little ones won't provide much, but again, might as well send them while I'm here. Fortunate thing about having a bunch of different alts at different levels and always working on LIs, I just always have these heritage things and never really need to worry about LI XP if I really don't want to. Okay, so characters. I have way too many characters. I have way too many characters and too many of them are either similarly named or just like weirdly named because I'm bad about coming up with names. Yeah, Blue Line Warden isn't the best. They're so actually you mentioned a good YouTube guide on in-game DPS rotations. I actually think so I have a website where I post like things like that and share a lot of different guides, some that I make and some that are made by the community. I don't always watch them or look at them, but I at least share them. And I think I've actually come across that one. It's one if I wanted to, I could check that out. And also LOTRO HQ, they have pretty good stuff. I think some of the stuff they have Some people, like I've run into some players that disagree with like particular points there, and a lot of it is oriented towards like very end game, so that's just something to consider, but I think it has good information. So what am I doing? I am doing LI stuff. And use this, open Forge, open Forge again, open relic combination, there we go. Exit my mail, and I have a ton of tier 1 relics to combine. Deconstruct, meld, refine. Well, actually, I'll probably need that for the relics, but for now I want to just level this up, so I'll use, once again, sort and just use my lowest item level ones. I wonder how easy it is to get Scrolls of Empowerment. I don't know if I care about that this much on this character, since we'll be going to Mirkwood in like maybe a couple months, a month and a half or so. But it is something I could consider to max it out. Also might have some lower level Starlight Crystals scattered throughout my characters that I could get for this one. Anyway, I am Bee Swarm damage. I have Bee Swarm damage on this? I did not know that. Probably like to replace that if I could. I wonder, actually, I think all the ones I have here are minor legacy, so I think I can replace a major legacy with a minor legacy, but can't do vice versa. So what am I doing? Need to use a little bit more heritage still. Yeah, I'm at 54,000 and, or not 54,000, but 54 out of 60. 56, and I just have even bigger. Might actually go ahead and use the 222,000 one, see where that gets me. Alright, so I have 87,000, 85,000, maybe I'll use 85,000. Yep, that got me there. Oh, I could have just looked at the numbers and see how much I needed. Oh well, it doesn't matter, I didn't really waste too much LI XP. So what are we going to call this? Honey Slicer? The other one was Honey Cake Slicer. I had Tree Cutter. I actually don't know what to call this one. I feel like honey is a Beorning thing. I'll do Honey Slicer for now, but I might rename that. I'm not sure I too much like the Honey Slicer name. Thickened High Duration would be good. Okay, so I'm going to pull up, the LOTRO wiki has a good list of legacies, even the old pre-imbued ones. So I will pull that up, and I think I can show that. Let's see. Is that, yeah, that's the right one. So Beorning Legendary Legacies, and this is, we're looking for pre-imbuement legacies, so just to show the list. Yeah, I think that's showing okay. It looks a little bit weird from my end, but I think that shows a little bit of this page. Oh, so Skeletor, you're asking about the cost of the most recent expansion. You're talking about Mordor, Minas Morgul, and Three Peaks. That's called. As a student, it's pretty expensive to buy one expansion for around 30 euros. Yeah, I would recommend avoiding Mordor if you can, just because I personally didn't like it. I think that's the one you get the least value out of, and then probably Three Peaks is the next least value. Minas Morgul has a bunch of good stuff. The War of Three Peaks is, I think it is good. The content is good. Actually, we'll have a video about that tomorrow. I have a little bit of weird thoughts on it. It's really a review of that. But we want pre-imbued legacies, and I have, yeah, Bee Swarm is what I have. So yeah, I don't want another major legacy, so that is good. And it looks like probably a chance for attacks to return Wrath. If I don't have that one, otherwise Relentless Maul damage. That's pretty much what I need. So that's all I wanted to look at that for, but I wanted to show you all the list with that. But if you're looking to buy one expansion in particular, if that's what you're wondering, I would either recommend Minas Morgul to get from 120 to 130, first of all, and get all the content with it, or War of Three Peaks if you're just interested in like the latest 130 content. But unfortunately, I feel like this is one of the worst things about LOTRO is the monetization, especially with like past expansions. I personally think that all old expansions should be included with VIP or with a subscription if you do that. So if you have a subscription to the game, I think it should include Moria and also the Warden and Runekeeper class then. I think it should also include whatever other expansions there are. Mirkwood, Isengard, Helm's Deep, Rohan, Mordor, and maybe not Minas Morgul. Maybe it wouldn't have to have Minas Morgul. That's like the latest full expansion. And then War of the Three Peaks it also wouldn't have to include if they had that system. But yeah, unfortunately, it's one of the things I think they could do a lot better on and probably get a lot more people spending money on the game. But what was the thing I needed to replace? Do I actually want to replace Beast Swarm damage though with Maul damage? I think Maul is universally more, like generally more damage. I'm actually curious if I like ran a full instance with combat analysis up, if I would do more damage with Beast Swarm or Maul. Probably Maul because it's AoE, but it's something that to like consider. If I were to ever play Red Line or Yellow Line, I would probably want Maul damage. But Beast Swarm used to be, actually the damage from that used to be pretty weak, but now it's pretty good. So yeah, Skeletor, you said you would pay more in order to get more content. Yeah, if you're talking about with like VIP, I agree that I would actually even pay a little bit more if it included more content with it. Of course, I've already bought like previous expansions, so that's a little bit weird. But yeah, you said 20 euros. I'm not sure how much 20 euros translates to dollars, US dollars that is, for 1 month of VIP. But yeah, if you had to do that without running into any paywall, so if that included like even the latest expansions, that could be worth like considering. If they had like an extra tier of VIP that came with expansions like the base edition of all them, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Vulgar TG, I agree with you. Beast Swarm does a lot of single target damage. It also has a lower cooldown, and I use it more frequently than Maul. Maul I try to use on cooldown, but it's a little bit of a specialized skill. With tanking, it doesn't really matter too much which I get with damage. That's basically what I'm doing this for, more tanking damage. But I think overall, Maul would probably provide more. I do that a lot, especially we saw in the instances I like to do big AoE pulls, so of course getting Maul upgraded with that would be good. But Beast Swarm does do, it's actually, I think, a little bit worth considering just because Beast Swarm does damage, but I think I'll replace it with the Maul damage. And I think that is better than anything else, like the Beast Swarm debuff duration. If I just get that a few ticks more, that's already basically just as valuable as increasing its damage. But even those would work together. If I got the damage increase and the debuff duration increase together, they would kind of stack. But I think compared to everything else, Vigilant Roar damage, okay, I could actually replace Vigilant Roar damage. I did not even think about that one. That is worse. Vigilant Roar damage, that should have been the obvious one. I didn't even need to go on about that whole thing, but I'm glad I saw that. Anyway, I think the legacies are set up on this. I just, of course, would, if I were to perfect this weapon, say, I'd want to work on it a little bit more. I'll go ahead and get Thickened Hide duration. I think upgrade that to the maximum if I'm focusing on tank stuff. The chance for wrath spending attacks to refund wrath. Rank 9 costs 252 legacy point thingies. That is way too many, so I ain't gonna be getting that. I will get probably, Bear Form damage costs a lot as well. I have that at tier 2. Same with like Beast Swarm debuff duration. I would like to get that one more, because that'll let it get one more tick, I think. I think that's the way it works. It's still 12 seconds. Maybe this doesn't work as I thought it did. If I get that up to 4, 12 seconds still? That's odd. I wonder if it's for like the debuff if you get it traded. If it's like a separate, if it would like increase this. Yeah, that goes up to 16 seconds. So I think it's just that debuff that you can get in whatever trait lines. I think there's one in red line as well and one in yellow line. Wow, that's very sad. That does not work as I thought it did. So that's completely wasted. I wonder if I have a scroll of renewal. I feel like I would have that stuff. All right, let's reset this stuff. But yeah, if I can actually replace, now that I see how that works, replace the Bee Swarm damage debuff, I'd actually rather turn the Tides damage than that. I would even rather the Vigilant Roar damage. Turn of Tides. Wait, Turn of Tides? What is Turn of Tides? I always mix Turn of Tides with actual skill. I think this is Turn the Tides. Yeah, don't need that actually. Chance for attacks to return Wrath Legacy? Wait, I couldn't do that? What? Oh, Minor Tier 1 with Minor Tier 2? Okay, I'll do that. That's just upgrading the tier. But yeah, I really wish I knew that the Bee Swarm debuff duration actually affected the non-dot portion of the debuff, because technically the damage over time is still a debuff. It's just a damaging debuff rather than a debuff that just decreases defenses or whatever. But anyway, I just wish I knew that's the way it worked. And it looks like my tree cut, my carving, I can spend some stuff on that. Vicious Claws damage. What is Vicious Claws? I think it's this one, the interrupt, the immediate interrupt. Thunderous Roar cooldown. Ooh, that's going to be a useful one actually. Thunderous Roar, Bear Form crit defense, chance for bonus wrath from slam. Yeah, probably healing potency and Thunderous Roar cooldown is what I want. Let's see, to optimize my point spending, I'll probably do one more in this and then 1 point in that, and then maybe a couple extra, one extra in Vicious Claw damage. Well, I could have also gotten technical heal rating, but here everything's like in the middle, so I got everything moderately up a little bit. But the next thing to do is the relics, and that is, I guess, the last thing I really have to do. We have to go back to the legendary person. Relic combination. And I'll combine all these. I'm actually curious how much my gold will go down. I'm at 138, almost even right now. Actually, I need to see what type of relics I want. So I want a singular, probably singular setting of endings. I can go ahead and craft that. Just make sure I don't want anything else. I don't think the other ones are as good, even for tank. Yeah, I don't really care about those for tank. What about Yorlingas? Wait, that's tier 10. I want unique. Yeah, unique setting. Beginnings. Of course I want the highest level one, so 50, or the 61's higher. Requires level 60 items, so that is good. I can go ahead and make that. I actually want that for both my things, but it would require level 60 class item. This is still my base one. I don't really care about replacing this. I might get another first stage for the carving, but I'm not sure. I would eventually get that. And then for the gym, do I want one of these crafted ones as well? It's partial mitigation, probably don't want that. Charity, tactical mitigation would almost be worth considering, but I don't think that's enough for it to actually be an option. And crit defense and a little bit of morale. What are the, to compare to the regular gym? Yeah, I'd rather vitality and critical rating. So it looks like I won't do a crafted gym. What was this one? I don't want that. This one could be worth considering. That is mastery and physical mitigation. This one's minus attack duration, so probably want the singular rune. I like minus attack duration a lot. I don't even know if it might be technically a little bit worse, but I just like the minus attack duration aspect of it. So I'll go ahead and slot that, and slot this, and I'll try to get one high, maybe one high level gem to put in. It doesn't really matter too much which tier, it gives a little bit more stats, but yeah, it's just get this character a little bit better set up. I just like to try to maximize what I have with basically what I have, with what I have available, really. Alright, so let's see, probably don't want to go too high. Looks like I have a tier 7, so I think that's high enough for this character. I'll get him a tier 7 Gem of Endurance. We'll go ahead and slot that. And now I am set up. Without group buffs and without scrolls and hope tokens, I'm almost at 15k morale. I don't know what all... Oh, I actually have... I forget I get to equip an offhand weapon. Woohoo. Now I'm probably would have been at 15k morale. Yeah, this gives 157 morale, so maybe I would have been. So Cam, you said it finished downloading, but you cannot remember your password and email connected, so your account is lost to time. I really hope you don't have like a lifetime VIP. I know we were talking about that earlier, but that would like double extra suck, but it's already unfortunate. Hopefully you might be able to contact support, and yeah, if you might be able to contact support and get it back. I don't know that you will be able to, especially if you can't remember like the email or password. But that would be my only recommendation to try, because it really does suck, especially if you had like the Runekeeper and bought Mines of Moria and whatever the next thing is called, Siege of Mirkwood, and you even had your old characters you lost. Hopefully you could get them back. Alright, so now that we got the LI settled, that's actually all I had for the stream. And I think even if I want to increase my morale, I might have other defensive items. Yeah, it looks like my necklace here, the curative locket, I could even equip that if I really wanted to boost my morale. Might be able to get to 20k with that, I'm actually not sure, like with full buffs, but anyway. We'll look into that the next time I'm on this character, which will probably be next Sunday. Again, we do this kin event weekly on Moria, basically going through the Moria instances for a second time at this level cap, which is good. I like going through them a lot. But yeah, Cam, I really hope you can get that settled, because that would suck too. I hear stories of people forgetting that and not being able to get their accounts back, so hopefully you might have some good luck there. But again, with this stream, that is all I had. We ran through the Moria instances, then we did the turtle raid, and I am now dual wielding, which is weird. I've been using a two-hander basically since the start of Moria, since I got my first LI, and sometimes I really wish you could actually have equipment like this, two-hander in one hand and a offhand weapon that's single hand, but yeah, unfortunately you can't, although it would be fun sometimes, maybe for a champion. Anyway, I just saw that and thought I'd point that out, since apparently I have a cosmetic one-hander and a cosmetic two-hander. But yeah, it's nice to be dual wielding again, because I really like that for main form. But anyway, super happy to have my first stage LI. It'll have a little bit of an impact, probably a decent impact, but it's just nice even if the content we are doing is relatively easy. And yeah, as far as this stream goes, I hope everybody enjoyed it, and tomorrow I will have a little update 28 War of Three Peaks review. That's going to be, I think it'll be a little bit of a fun video, which is going to sound weird once you all see what it is, but yeah. Skeletor, you said it's 3:21 a.m. in Germany. That is, if it was 3:21 here, that would be like way past my bedtime. That's like getting close to wake up time for me, but yeah, it sounds like time to sleep, basically. And you said that offhand axe was the model of the best weapon for champions in Siege of Mirkwood. Actually did not know that. This is the axe of the Eggland Vanguard, or at least the model of whatever the best one was. I think this was from Gartha Garwind, is where that specific offhand was, but it could be the same model as also the best one, I suppose. But anyway, thank you all for joining the stream and chatting. I totally forgot what I do for my outro. Anyway, I hope you all did enjoy the stream, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks everyone for joining, chatting, and